feel about the performance, the urgency, and the response you had when they made a couple runs late?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, our group has seen it all. We wanted to come in and be the aggressor right away to make sure that we were dictating on the defensive end and we were dictating from a pace standpoint.
Two more wins, and the Indiana Fever is headed to the WNBA Finals.
2 more wins. That's all it takes. 2 more wins and the Indiana Fever will shock the WNBA world by punching their ticket to the finals. Let that sink in. A team nobody expected to even sniff a championship. A team the media dismissed as too young, too inexperienced, and too low profile. Now standing on the brink of greatness. The Indiana Fever just stole the first game of this series in Las Vegas, absolutely dominating the defending champs, the Las Vegas Aces, 89-73.
That sink in for a second. The Indiana Fever only need to win 2 more games and they will be in the WNBA Finals, and they stole the first of 3 today against the Las Vegas Aces, beating them 89-73. A very convincing win at the Aces in Las Vegas on their home court with their home referees. The Indiana Fever pulled off this victory, and I feel like I'm one of the only people, or at least aside from the mainstream media.
And yes, it was on their home court with their own referees. The league is panicking, and for good reason. Nobody saw this coming. Not the analysts, not the fans, certainly not the Aces, who walked into the game expecting a routine win, only to be dismantled by a team that played like champions. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 34 points. Odyssey Sims, signed just months ago, orchestrated the offense like a seasoned veteran. Aaliyah Boston and Brie Turner made sure the mighty Aces couldn't rely on their star player, A.A. Wilson, to carry them. Every rotation, every play, every defensive stop screamed one thing.
Who truly thinks that the Indiana Fever can pull this off? Do you remember a couple days ago on ESPN, they were saying like the chances that the teams had to make it to the finals or to win a championship, and it was 5 teams. Lynx, the Aces, Mercury, the Liberty, and the Indiana Fever. And they had the Indiana Fever as the lowest chances of winning the WNBA Finals.
How do you feel about the performance, the urgency, and the response you had when they made a couple runs late?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, our group has seen it all. We wanted to come in and be the aggressor right away.
Indiana is here to win. And while Caitlin Clark, the team's rising superstar, isn't even on the floor, her presence continues to shape the Fever's mentality, freeing teammates to shine and striking fear into the opposition. The storyline is clear. The underdog is no longer a story. It's reality. If you thought the WNBA Finals were set in stone, think again. The Indiana Fever aren't just competing. They're redefining what it means to fight, to hustle, and to shock the league. This isn't luck. This isn't a fluke. This is a statement, and the league is trembling. Stay tuned, because what you're about to see will change everything you thought you knew about this series. Just a year ago, the Indiana Fever were a completely different story.
To make sure that we were dictating on the defensive end and we were dictating from a pace standpoint. They're champions for a reason. We knew that they were going to make runs. They made a big one in the third, and we responded with a big one. I'm proud of our team. It's one game, it's a long series, so we got to keep the main thing, but to come in here and to be able to steal this one was big for us.
Caitlin Clark was a rookie, adjusting to the pro game. Aaliyah Boston was still learning how to dominate against veteran bigs. Kelsey Mitchell, despite her talent, was often dismissed as a stat sheet filler on struggling teams. The media laughed at them. Analysts wrote them off. ESPN even ranked them with the lowest odds of reaching the finals. They were the afterthought, the fun team, happy just to be in the playoffs. Contrast that with the Las Vegas Aces, a powerhouse, star-studded, championship experience. Boston anchored the defense, turning A.A. Wilson, the supposed unstoppable force, into a liability. Every underdog cliche, it was shattered tonight.
The team's ability to handle a game where Asia is not able to dominate, where would you guys rate your level of concern surrounding that, and how do you guys kind of fix that?
It's not necessarily my level of concern. I know we're capable, but not when we play like that. God forbid Asia doesn't drop 40 for us, but we had 12 assists tonight in 40 minutes, 12, and 12 turnovers. But you can start on the defensive end. I mean, clearly we had no answer for Mitchell. Couldn't even attempt to slow her down a little bit.
The Fever have built something far more dangerous than a single superstar. Depth, versatility, and relentless teamwork define this squad. And it's not just the wins, it's the manner of victory. They've exposed cracks in the Aces' armor, showing what happens when the league's so-called juggernaut is forced to play without its star firing on all cylinders. This isn't just a game, it's a seismic shift. The Indiana Fever aren't just surviving, they're rewriting the narrative, one emphatic victory at a time. And the WNBA is officially on notice. The Indiana Fever's 89-73 victory over the Las Vegas Aces wasn't a fluke. It was a masterclass in execution. From the opening tip, Indiana set the tone. They dictated the pace, controlled the boards, and applied relentless defensive pressure. Kelsey Mitchell exploded for 34 points, hitting threes, slicing through defenders, and showing why she's the engine of this team. Every time the Aces tried to mount a run, Indiana responded with precision, forcing Vegas into contested shots and bad decisions. Odyssey Sims was the calm in the storm. Running the offense with poise, she distributed the ball, managed tempo, and kept the Fever steady when Vegas tried to rally. It's incredible considering she joined the team just months ago. Her ability to read the floor and make smart plays elevated the team's performance exponentially. Defensively, the Fever executed a blueprint that exposed the Aces' over-reliance on A.A. Wilson. When Wilson struggled, Indiana pounced. Aaliyah Boston and Brie Turner smothered her on every possession, forcing fadeaways and low-percentage attempts. Lexi Hall made the hustle plays no one notices, diving for loose balls, cutting off passing lanes, and creating chaos on the court. Meanwhile, Natasha Howard, Ariel Powers, and the bench stepped up whenever needed, proving Indiana's depth is as lethal as its starters. And let's not forget the full-court pressure. Indiana disrupted Vegas's rhythm, forcing turnovers that led to easy transition buckets. Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and Kaya Stokes looked rattled under consistent ball pressure. Indiana's strategy wasn't just to compete, it was to dominate every facet of the game. The moment she sat on the bench with her fourth foul, Vegas crumbled. In a blink, Indiana ran an 11-0 stretch, turning a three-point deficit into an insurmountable lead. The unstoppable Aces? Suddenly vulnerable. Contrast that with Indiana. They didn't panic when Vegas made runs. They didn't rely on a single superstar to carry the load. Every player had a role, every rotation mattered, and every substitution strengthened their unit. Odyssey Sims ran the floor like a veteran. Kelsey Mitchell scored effortlessly. Boston and Turner locked down Wilson. Lexi Hall and the rest of the bench hustled relentlessly. The Fever's depth and strategy exposed the Aces' predictability. If Wilson isn't dominating, the team struggles to even breathe. It's not just a one-game story. The league underestimated Indiana. Analysts penciled them in as the lowest odds in the semifinals. ESPN and others wrote them off as too inexperienced, too young, too shallow. And now? That narrative is shattered. A single road win has rewritten the script, and the Aces are left scrambling for answers. Vegas's frustration was palpable. The team looked flat, winded, and defeated at the first sign of adversity. Indiana, meanwhile, played with poise, aggression, and clarity. This isn't luck, it's preparation, cohesion, and mentality. And if the Fever continue to play this way, 2 more wins could rewrite the WNBA playoffs entirely. The underdog story isn't just alive, it's roaring, and the league is feeling it. Let's get granular. Indiana's dominance wasn't just about scoring, it was about control, strategy, and precision. Kelsey Mitchell's 34 points weren't a solo show, they were a masterclass in reading the defense. She punished every gap, drained threes, and attacked mismatches relentlessly. But what made her unstoppable wasn't just talent, it was timing and support. Odyssey Sims orchestrated the offense like a seasoned general, controlling tempo, distributing the ball, and keeping the team calm even when Vegas tried to mount a comeback. Defensively, the Fever executed to perfection. Aaliyah Boston's work on A.A. Wilson was textbook lockdown. Every shot contested, every cut blocked, every angle closed. When Boston rested, Brie Turner stepped in seamlessly, proving Indiana's depth isn't just numbers, and the psychology can't be ignored. Vegas's over-reliance on Wilson exposed a single point of failure. Indiana thrives because it's not a one-player show. They move the ball, share responsibility, and trust everyone to execute. Even without Caitlin Clark on the court, the team played with fearlessness, cohesion, and intelligence. Every rotation was a chess move, every possession a calculated strike. This isn't luck, it's preparation, execution, and discipline. Indiana didn't just win, they proved a point. They are smarter, tougher, and deeper than anyone anticipated. And the Aces? They are exposed, vulnerable, and scrambling for answers. Indiana's victory isn't just a game, it's a seismic shift for the WNBA. For years, the narrative was clear. The Aces, the Liberty, the powerhouses, they dictate the league. The Underdogs were fun, but never serious threats. That script has been shredded in one emphatic 16-point win on the road. The league is panicking because Indiana didn't just beat Vegas, they exposed structural weaknesses, predictability, and over-reliance on a single superstar. This game proves that depth, cohesion, and mentality now matter more than star power alone. The Fever's rotations, bench contributions, and defensive schemes showed that a team can be greater than the sum of its parts. Kelsey Mitchell, Odyssey Sims, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hall, Natasha Howard, and Brie Turner all played essential roles, proving that smart roster construction and teamwork can topple the so-called dynasties. The implications are huge. Teams that rely heavily on one superstar now face a warning. You are beatable. Vegas's system falls apart without Wilson at her best. Meanwhile, Indiana's model, versatile, resilient, fearless, becomes the blueprint for future contenders. Coaches across the league are watching, analysts are scrambling, and fans? They're witnessing an underdog story that could redefine power in the WNBA for years. There's also the cultural element. Indiana's victory highlights the importance of mental toughness and preparation over hype and expectations. Players who stay composed, share responsibility, and execute as a unit can disrupt the league hierarchy. It's no longer enough to rely on star talent alone. Teams must build depth, trust, and adaptability. If the Fever take the next, Kelsey Mitchell, Odyssey Sims, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hall, Natasha Howard, and Brie Turner showed the league what teamwork, depth, and fearless execution look like. Every possession mattered, every rotation executed flawlessly, and every player rose to the occasion. The Aces? Vulnerable, predictable, and exposed. The dynasty faltered the second Wilson struggled. Vegas couldn't adjust. Indiana didn't just win, they dominated, controlled tempo, and forced mistakes at every turn. This isn't luck. This isn't a fluke. This is a blueprint for beating a powerhouse, and the league is panicking because everyone knows it works. If Indiana finishes the job and reaches the finals, it won't feel like an upset. It will feel inevitable. The team that everyone doubted, that everyone laughed at, will have rewritten the WNBA narrative. They've proven that preparation, depth, and resilience can topple even the most star-studded opponents. And even without Caitlin Clark on the court, the Fever played like champions. This is more than a win, it's a statement. The WNBA landscape is shifting, and Indiana is leading the charge. Power, strategy, and teamwork are replacing predictability and star reliance. The league's old guard has been warned. The Underdogs are coming, and they aren't playing to participate. They're playing to dominate. So here's the call to action. Watch closely, because this series isn't over, and the Fever story is only just beginning. Share this video with everyone who needs to see what true underdog dominance looks like. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe so you don't miss the next shocking turn in this playoff saga. The Indiana Fever are rewriting history, and you'll want to see every moment.